hear me, please put a thumbs up button, in the chat box rather. Thank you. Alright, thank you. Without wasting much time, we want to just start out our webinar, and we want to thank God Almighty for the gift of life and for making us all teachers, impacting life, inspiring destinies. And we also want to specially thank all the organizers of this beautiful webinar. Mr. Alaku, thank you. Mr. Diwali Kaldi, thank you for this beautiful initiative. I apologize, I'm actually in transit, but I will try and give it my best. My name is Adiola Kushulure from Omoli Senior Grammar School, Lagos, and I will be your moderator for this webinar. So let's get to meet ourselves. For those of us that are online, and if you can hear me very well, let's get to meet ourselves. So please, just in that chat box, put your name, your school, and your state where you're joining from. Your name, your school, just in that order. Your name, your school, and your state. We're going to be doing that for about 5-10 minutes. Your name, your school, and your state. Alright, Mrs. Busaya Adeyemo, if you can hear me, please, I don't know if you can unmute yourself and please give me a feedback if you can hear me. Mrs. Busayo. Alright, Mr. Ayedokun Kadijat, you're welcome on. Mr. Isaac, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Mrs. Busayo, please, I'm still waiting.
Good morning.
Is that Mrs. Busayo? Mr. Adeyemo? Alright, okay. Alright, I'm sure she'll be with us shortly. Alright, Mr. Ogune from Ogun State. Okay, thank you, Abeokuta. Thank you for joining. I apologize, I'm actually in transit, but I'll try and give it my best, like I said earlier on. So, in the first 10 minutes, we're going to be introducing ourselves. And just like I said, in your name, your school, and your state. Alright. You're welcome. Okay, let me go to the chat box and try and call out. Oh, Mr. Diwali, please, can you just help me from your end, Mr. Diwali? Can you help me from your end?
What, ma? What do you want, ma?
Yes, just help us introduce, help us call out, help us introduce.
Okay, I will do that. I think let me dedicate that one to my guy here. I think I can see Mr. Ganiu, please, can you go ahead and read out the name on the chat box, sir?
All right. Good morning to everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you perfectly, sir.
Well, on this chat box, I can see Mr. Badugu Mohammed, no state. I have Mr. Oguniyi Sunday. I have Adedokun Kadijat Adedayo, OKF Senior Comprehensive College, Lagos State. I have Mr. Isaac Nwali, British International School, Lagos. I also have here Leshi D.A. Vanguard Academy, Ogun State. I have myself, Ganiyu Olatubosun, from African Church Grammar School, Abeokuta, Ogun State. I have Oguni Sunday Shaje High School, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Shitu Abib, African Church Grammar School, Ogun State. Mofoluwake, sorry, Sofola, Jebasin Senior Secondary, Jebasin Secondary School, Ogun State. Ajibade Olanrewaju, God bless, from Bash Freeman Junior High School, Surulere, Mushin, Lagos. I have Osemeke Vivian from Ilupeju Junior Grammar School, Oshodi. I think, okay, I have one more person here. Shuku Aji Fowowe Oluwani nkan Emmanuel Grammar School, Ibadan, Oyo State. I think that's the end that we have here on the list. Sorry.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ganiu, for bailing us out. Thank you. We quite appreciate it.
Oh, my guy just came in. Sorry, my guy just came in. None of our guys. That's for kind of.
All right. Okay. From Molusi College, yes. Thank you. Well, welcome online, Mr. Dapo. It's so good to have you join us. So thank you so much. So we have educators from Lagos, from Ogun, from Oyo State, and we want to say welcome. Thank you, Mr. Ganiu, for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Without wasting much time, we want to quickly call on Mr. Adewale Kayode to give us the opening remarks, take us through what we are expecting. Mr. Adewale Kayode, please, over to you. You have just 5 minutes for your opening remarks, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Adiola. Very grateful. And I want to welcome all our dear participants that are joining us across the country for this webinar on how to take you through what we have for you today. Once again, my own name is Kayode Adewale. I'm a teacher in Ogun State. And we felt there is need for us to do this. Like I do tell people, I so much cherish mentoring. And people mentor me up to this level before I could emerge as state champion of the Multinational Teachers of the Year in the year 2020 and also top 10 finalists. And I think there is need for me to cascade these mentoring that I receive from my mentors across the country. And that's the reason why I have to invite the national champion, the winners of the 2022 Multinational Teachers of the Year, my wonderful friend, Mr. Alaku AY, and also my wonderful sister from Enugu State, Mrs. Ifoma, who is the second runner-up of the 2022 Multinational Teachers of the Year. So we are doing this to guide us because, like I told you, I applied for Multinational Teachers of the Year for 3 times. It was at the 3rd time that I was able to scale through. The very first time, I didn't receive any message. I didn't move out of the first stage at all. The second time, I think I got to the second stage and I was looking at it that what's really going on until I contact some of my mentors and they will have to tell me this and that. And I think there is need for me to do the same thing for teachers. And I think it will not be enough if I'm just attending to peoples of like mind in my state alone. And I say, okay, let's extend this to others. So what do we tend to gain today in this program? Number one thing is that I know majorly from the response we've received close to 100 response via the registration form. Many of them were just asking, how do I go about the application? Then number 2, many of them were asking questions like, how do I choose my topic? Of course, this time around, you can see the mode of the questions has changed. For those of us that have been applying in the past, you can see that this time around, they want us to talk about how relevant this topic you want to choose is to Sustainable Development Goals, which has 17 goals. So you have to relate this, or some of those things, how you are going to choose your topic, how you are going to relate your topic to this, the instructional activities and all, and the like that you need, and every other technological support you need in applying for the Multinational Teachers of the Year are those things we will be dishing out during this period. So once again, I want to welcome all our dear participants, our wonderful teachers across the state. Thank you, and God bless you all as you stay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale Kayode. Thank you. So I want to, for the educators that are just joining us right now, please, you can still put your name, your school, and your state in the chat box. I want to welcome every one of us. And thank you, Mr. Adewale Kayode, for putting it at heart to mentor other teachers. Honestly, personally, my own favorite quote is that collaboration is better than competition. And I believe so much in mentoring. I have also gotten to the international stage due to some people that have invested in my life through mentoring, and I always love people that want to give back to. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale and your team, for taking our time to give back to educators. Thank you so much, sir. So I want to quickly go through our profile of our dear organizers. Let me start with Mrs. Reformer Stella Ifediba. I hope I am still audible. Please kindly confirm if I am still very much audible.
God, the boomer.
All right, sir. So Mrs. Reformer Stella Ifediba is a 21st century educationist and a consultant, author, and UNESCO digital teacher, master trainer, student personal development coach, and career counselor. She is a United States Fulbright Fellow, Fulbright T Fellow, and the 2022 Multinational Teacher of the Year, Enugu champion. Stella is the founder of Start Young Career Academy and executive director of lead consultant Stella Ifediba Transformational Education Concept, Nigeria. Mrs. Stella Ifediba, you're most welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Adiola. I'm happy to be
Thank
here.
you. It's so good to see your face.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let me go to Mr. Alaku. Mr. Alaku is a BSc Edu, MSc Edu, Physics Education. That powerful subject. Physics Education at the University of Jos. He is also a Fulbright alumni, and he is the 2022 Montana Teacher of the Year. He is a physics teacher and basic science teacher in the Federal Government College, Jos. Join me, welcome Mr. Alaku. So humble, so very friendly. Join me, welcome Mr. Alaku to the webinar today. Mr. Alaku, please, can we hear from you? Very unassuming. Over to you, Mr. Alaku. Can we hear from you? Mr. Adewale, please let me check is Mr. Alaku online.
I think he's online. Okay. We can go ahead. Once he come around, we'll try to call him to do a proper introduction. Thank you.
It's all right. Okay, so let me quickly go through the profile of Mr. Adewale Kayode. So Mr. Adewale Kayode is a committed educator who is dedicated to transforming education in Nigeria by using 21st century skills in his teaching practices. His objective is aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, fourth objective, which is to provide quality education to everyone, regardless of their background or location. Kayode strongly believes that every child has the right to access inclusive and equitable education, and is strives to make learning more interactive and engaging for his students by incorporating video, content, and other 21st century skills into his teaching. He is a Microsoft certified educator, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, MIE Master Trainer, Global Fed Translator, Innovative Teacher Fellow of SASOI. Let's just stop there, because if we continue, they will break before we finish reading Mr. Adewale's profile. Mr. Adewale, it's so nice to have you join the webinar this morning. And without wasting much time, I just want to let you take it over from here. You are going to be taking us, we are just starting right away without wasting much time. We are going straight into the application process. And you are going to be taking us through the item 1 to item 15 on the application form. Over to you, Mr. Adewale Kayode. Please, as we start in, if you have any question along the lines, Mr. Adewale, please, for your session, you have just 15 minutes. So I don't know how you want to do it. Maybe 1 item, 1 minute, I don't know. Please just try and manage the time so that we can actually finish in due time. So please, there's going to be time for Q&A. Just try and note your questions down, or you can just put it in the chat box. So when it is time for Q&A, we'll go over your question. Mr. Adewale Kayode, please, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Adeola. And once again, I want to appreciate all our dear educators that are joining us across the country for this webinar on how to apply for Multinational Teachers of the Year. So without wasting much of our time, I'm going to dive into the application form. As we all know, you can apply for Multinational Teacher in you can make use of 2 different approaches. You can use online approach, that is, you can apply via online. You can also apply offline. The online aspect of it is that you have to go to the website, which we are going to drop. I'm going to drop the website on the chat box for us so that we can go there and register and continue our registration. The second approach is the offline approach, where you need to go to that website again and download the file. There is a Word file that comprises of the form for the Multinational Teachers of the Year application. I'm going to show us the form and fill out the form. Once you are done in filling out the form, you save the form in PDF format and mail it to the mail that have been attached on the website. So I'm going to share the two. I'm going to share the website, and at the same time, I'm going to share the mail that you are expected to send your application to once you are done. But the major thing, I know in sending it or doing it online is not our issue. How do we go about the process? So I'm going to share my screen. The very first thing you need to do is that the first thing, as an educator, once you have an opportunity like this, or you have an application, the first thing is to scan through the application and see what it entails, what the application entails, what did they need in the. Can we all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. So what you just need to do, the first thing is
yes,
we can
just
try to scan through the application. So this is the application. I'll just you scan through and look at it, that what did I need to apply for this application. If you look at this application, you read the general information. The general information is telling us that all the former state champions are not eligible to apply after 3 years. So that means those that have won before, you cannot apply until after 3 years. That's number one. Those won with red, you must not be above 55 years of age. Definitely, if you are above 55, you cannot apply for this. Then, what else again? Let's scan through. We can see other information from item 1 to item 15 is a demographic information. So once it is a demographic information, then what you need to do is to make sure, if you have your curriculum vitae E somewhere, you can just open your curriculum vitae E, because it will be easy for you to just go in there and copy. So I just talked about the curriculum vitae E now. So let me quickly do that on my own end here. Quickly, without wasting much of my time. I'll just go and open. I'll just go and open my curriculum vitae E, so that it will assist me by the time I will need any information there. So let me come back here, waiting for that one to open. So that means whatever information I need, the name of the teacher, I will just come here and pick what I need concerning that. Then what else again did I need to open? State of origin. I know that I can do everything, copy that from my curriculum fighter E. What other things? Then again, when you come to item 14, item 15 rather, they said list all the teaching and the professional award and recognition you have received within the year 2020 and 2023. Evidence to be uploaded along with that. So that means there is a condition for you. You must, while you are looking for the training that you have attended in the past, you might have saved those certificates you have obtained. And that is why we normally tell people, anytime you go for any training, the very first thing, you don't need to ask for money, you don't need to ask for anything. What you need most is what? Is evidence of participating in that program. Even if they decide not to give you certificate, you can just snap, do a selfie with their banner, whatever information they use there, so that will serve as an evidence that you have actually attended a training somewhere. And on this issue like this, all what you just need to do is to attach the evidence to your application. Then what else do we need to do again? Kindly look at the information under after item 15. The information says kindly scan and attach the following document to your application. That means you need to scan your birth certificate, you need to scan your teacher registration council. And this scanning we are talking about, it is not using your phone to scan. There was an application, there was a program that I applied for, and I go ahead and use my iPhone to capture my document, believing that that is enough, because we all believe that iPhone, the camera of iPhone is very sharp. On sending it to those organizers, they were like, they decline my application, that your pictures are not clear. So that means the work of scanner is very essential. If you don't have one, and there are many scanner applications on our phone, so you can use the scanner application to scan your document. So here you are asked to scan your birth certificate. Yes, another thing is your teacher registration council. Now let me quickly talk about the teacher registration council certificate. It is very, very important anytime you are applying for any teachers award. And as you can see, I think this is our dream. Teaching profession has started, they have started regulating the teaching profession like other professions, like in medicine, in laws and the like. Before you can become a barrister, you need to be inducted into the society. It is not that you just went to school and you study law and you want to become a barrister. It is not possible. It is not possible. You have to go to law school so that you do a proper induction. So I think TRCN has served as our own induction certificate that qualify us a professional teacher. So that is why it is important. And Martina teachers of the year, they don't joke with what is it called, TRCN. By the time you get there, once you don't have TRCN, there is no way you can skate through to the next stage. So it is very important. So if you don't have TRCN now, it's better you go and apply for TRCN. So you go and apply. Please let me quickly check so that if I have other people online, I can just admit all of them in. I'm doing the two work. Okay, I think with that I've done that. So I said the TRCN is important. Then the next one is valid ID. Your valid identification, what is it called? Identification. Either permanent voters card or international passport or national ID card or driver license. You should have any of these. So that will show that you are the original owners of that application you are submitting. Then of course, your credentials, that is your certificate, be it professional be it academic certificate or professional certificate. Then your passport. Look at the condition they give us. Your passport must be 5 cm by 5 cm. So if you don't know how to do this, you can go online and browse on how to do that, how to check. And it's a matter of measurement. You measure it so that whatever you are going to submit must be in line with that. Then the last thing I will talk about is the award and testimonial. Yes, one thing we don't know is that many of us, we do a lot of things in our schools, but we have never at any point in time make it the point of the duties of the school that anytime I do something, I didn't need money from you. I need a commendation letter. And that's why a wonderful friend of mine who is also on this platform, the last time we participated in a program together, I want to appreciate her at least giving us a kind of stipend for our transportation, but I said we need a commendation letter that we have facilitated a program for you, and kudos to her, she give us that certificate. So is an addition. Anytime you do anything, be it in your school, if you want to apply for this application and you didn't have commendation letter, run to your principal. By the time you get to school on Monday, ma, I have been doing this in this school, I have been doing that in that school, please, I need a commendation letter for all this that I've been doing, because those are those things that is going to support your application as a dedicated teacher in the school. You can't just tell me you have been a dedicated teacher for the past 10 years, and for that past 10 years nobody has ever commend you for what you have been doing. Then also the awards. Award is very, very important too. If you don't have award, you can see that they slash award and testimonial together. So the testimonial is that people need to commend what you have been doing. They have to give testimony of what you have been doing with evidence. So ladies and gentlemen, I've just talk about this. So what I will do now is that since I have opened my curriculum vitae E, the next thing is for me to go and open a folder and make sure I have all this with it. So I've just opened a folder and I call it Montina Teachers of the Year 2023. That is where I store all the information that I need about this application. So I have to put all the information. You can see my TRCN certificate, and by the time I get into the application, I will just be attaching it to the document, and it will be getting into the what? Into the form. So let me go now back to the form. So for this, like I told you, I don't need much. The name of the teacher, my name, I'll just put in my name. Just type Adewale Kayode. Make sure the name you put here is in line, is correlated with your identity card. So Adewale Kayode Abayomi. So I've just put that, and I will continue. I'm not going to do this for all the time. So your date of birth, let your date of birth be in the format that it is on your birth certificate, or let me say on your national ID card or on your ID card. As we all know, like driving license now, and that of our birth, what is it called? National identity number. The NIN card, they have the format. So the format that is taken there, or provided, if I want to put my own, I can say 8th June, 1984. So everybody know that this is in format of day, month, and year. Then you go to your state. Then thereafter, you put in your mail. Make sure you use a function mail. Then you come back to your phone number. Like I said, this is the method I said I will use. I have already opened my curriculum vitae E here, and I will just come back here and be picking those information here. Unlike this now, if I want to pick my date of birth, I will just come here and do copy and paste and go back to that form. My date of birth, just go back to that form. You can see that, so that you may not stress yourself doing too much typing. Once you have your curriculum vitae E, updated one. So where again, your phone number, then your school address. As those of us that are familiar with Montina Teachers of the Year, you see that they always make use of your school address. So you make sure that your school address is in line. It includes your local government and your state. Unlike my own, if I put Odua, the name of my school is Odua Comprehensive High School. Odua Comprehensive High School. And I'm going to put Imoru Ijebu. The school is located in Imoru Ijebu, and it is located in Odogbolu. So I'm going to Odogbolu. I can put local government area, comma, and my state is Ogun State. So this is what they need here. Not that you just put the address alone. Just put number 44, no. Then your residential address. Then educational and professional qualification. And that is where I said your curriculum vitae E is going to help you. So I can go back to my curriculum vitae E now and go and look at where did I have my professional. What did they ask there? If you look at it now, they were requesting for my educational and professional qualification. My educational and professional qualification, if I come back here, educational and professional qualification. These are the institutions I attended. So this is my qualification. So I can come here and copy that. Just do my copy and paste and come back to my application and put it under that. So you can now come and be doing whatever adjustment you want to do on it. Then what else again? The next thing there now is my Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria registration number. I told you TRCN is very, very important. So if I go back now to the folder that I've opened, I have my TRCN here. I can quickly open my TRCN. Let me yes, you can see my TRCN. So my TRCN number, that's my registration number, that is OG/S14197. So I will come back here in order not to commit any error. I will come back here, my TRCN OG/S/ the number, and put everything. Then teaching experience. How long have you been teaching at the secondary school level? Please don't lie. Tell them if you have been teaching for the past 3 years or 4 years. State it like that, because by the time they will ask question, because they may ask question from your employer or your principal if you scale through to state level. If they ask them and the information your principal is giving them is quite different from the information you supply, you may implicate yourself. So as for me now, I've spent 14 years in service. I'll put my 14 years. What subject do you teach? Look at it. There is a condition, subject. So if you teach more than one subject, let them know. Like myself, I teach mathematics and I also teach further mathematics. So I have to put everything. If I have other things that I teach there, further maths, I also teach computer sometimes. So I'll put it there. I teach computer study. So what classes? You can see that one to classes. Don't limit yourself. So if you know you teach more than one class, let them know that you teach more than one class. So I teach the classes that I teach SS1, SS2, SS3. So those are the classes that I teach. Then you come here, do you have any criminal record? Please, if you have any criminal record, it is not an offense. Like people used to say, many people we see in prison, not all of them committed one sin or the other. It may be as a result of one thing or the other. If you have committed anything in the past, a friend of mine told me a scenario, somebody that won a competition and they want to take the person out of the country, and during the application process they've asked him, do you have any criminal record? That person picked no, and the organizer has gone ahead to make their findings, find out that person have committed one thing or the other, but that person has been bailed out, or all the record has been cancelled. So if you state that, you will tell them the condition, what are those things, what do you do. So but if you don't have anything, just tick no. For that no, you can just use /arrow to tell them that it is no. And once you select no there is no point for you to say anything there. But if it is yes, they said describe the nature of the record. Please, if you have any criminal record, let's put it there. It may just be a minor one and they will just overlook it, rather than saying no and they discover that you have a criminal record. It can affect you. Even if that person has gone to national champion, I learned they will withdraw their certificate from you. Alright, so what other things? I'm now on the last item, which is the list of all teaching and professional award. Like I told you, all the teaching and professional award, I have that one too in my CV. I can go to my CV. Let me quickly go to my CV where I have it, and I'll just scroll down. Okay, you can see this is my own. These are the honors, the awards that I've got. So don't forget, the condition says between now and 2020. So don't go and bring that of 1995. So I'm bringing in those ones that I've got between now and 2020. All these ones are the awards that I've just got within that range. So I can come back here and copy all the awards and everything that I've got, and come back to this place, list of all the teaching and professional award and recognition. So and paste it here. Don't forget, like I told you, even if you paste it here, you will still need to come back and edit it. You can see the way it's arranged, so I can come back and do that one after the other. This one is a matter of competition. So just come back here and do editing. So but the reason why I use the curriculum fighter E is because you have all your record there. It will be easy for you to go there and do your copy and paste, so that you will not leave anything out. Now the next one is that they said evidence to be uploaded. So that means you have to put evidence there when you are coming here to attach anything to this document. Now I'm done with that. I'm now on the last thing I'm expected to do here. Now I think Mr. Adiola, how many minutes I've spent so far? Hello?
You have just 2 minutes, sir, to wrap up.
Okay, so I have 2 more minutes. Now, here now, kindly attach the following document. There are two methods to do this. Number one method is that you copy all this one, copy all this one, copy all this one, all everything that we have here. You can copy everything you have here and open the Microsoft Word. Put it here. Can you see that now? I've just pasted that one here. Put it here and be attaching it under it one after the other. If I come under this now, look at this one, under this one, copy under this. If I come under this one, teacher registration council, I can go back into that my file, insert, attach picture, and it will load my system, and I will go and look for where I have it on my system. This is where I have my own now on the desktop. Don't forget that I said I've opened a folder that I've named Montina Teachers of the Year. TRCN is what I need. Then it will automatically come under that document. Can we see that now? It has come under this document. My valid ID card, then my passport. I will do the same thing for my passport. So if I come under my passport too, I'll just go and insert picture, my passport. This is my passport, and I'll measure it is 5 cm by 5 cm. You can see the way it's attached. Award and testimonial. Award, the award that I've got, I'll go back here. Don't forget that I'm picking all this from the folder. I'm picking it from the folder that I have created. If I have not been able to save this, it will be difficult for me to start doing this. Please let me accept you in. Alright, if I have not been able to open the folder, it will be very difficult for me to start. I will need to start looking for this one after the other. Then also the same thing applicable to testimonial. If my principal has given me one commendation, please help us to mute our mic. Please, if I have got a commendation letter from my principal, I will just come here and just insert that into this. That's number one method. So once I'm done with this now, I can now save this. I can come and what? And save this. Again, when I want to save it to, I have to go and look for that, my folder. You can see that I'm looking for my folder. This is the folder. So I can say scan copy. I can title it as, I will use my name now. You can use your own name too. Adewale Kayode, scan document. And I will save it with PDF so that it will not scatter. You can see that I've saved it with PDF. So I have saved it somewhere. And by the time I do my submission, you will see that by the time we finish the whole of the form, when others facilitator come up, you see how we are going to attach that one to our folder. That is one method. The second method is to do it in that form. You can do it in that form without attaching it to that place. You can do it in that form. If I come here now and I want to put TRCN in that my form, what I will just do is that inside that form, I will just do the same method. I'll just do the same method, TRCN, attach it direct. You can see that it has attached to that now. So I can come back here, my passport photograph too, and do the same thing under the form. So I'm talking about two methods now. So my passport, which I have measured 5 cm by 5 cm. You can see I've attached that one to this. You can see everything. So that by the time that I save my document, everything will be saved along with my response and every other demographic information. Ladies and gentlemen, and our dear participants, I am done with the first section, and I'm going to hand over to the moderator to continue to invite the next presenter for the next thing. So if you have any question, there is a question and answer section. Please prepare your question, or you type your question on the chat box. If you know you cannot type your question on the chat box, wait till question and answer section where you raise your hand, then we will recognize you, then you go ahead and ask your question, and we will answer your question. By the time you want to answer your question, please tell us your name, your state, the name of your school, and the person that you expect to respond to your question. Mention the facilitator, and that is why we have been coming here to tell us your name while we are doing our presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues, I am done with my own presentation. Thank you and God bless you. As we are applying for this, I wish we will come back here October ending by God's grace to celebrate ourselves that peoples on this platform, they are one or the members of the state champion, even the national winner of the Multinational Teachers of the Year by God's grace. Thank
Screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, go on. We can see your slide, ma.
Okay, I'm having a little difficulty from my end. Yeah. Okay. So can you see it now?
Yes, go on. We can see
Can you
it.
still see it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so in this session, we'll be focusing on choosing MTOTY topic. MTOTY is simply Multinational Teacher of the Year topic. Then crafting specific objectives and measurement of them. Dina talked about how she made mistake in her application. Personally, I made a very serious mistake during my first application, and I later discovered that it was basically in connection to my topic. So that's why I want everybody to pay attention in this session. Jot down your questions so that along the line we'll be able to take some questions to make it easier. I'll do my best to see how to take us through this instructional objective. One, let's see how we can connect SDGs to their to your subject areas, to the participant subject areas in this session. And before we can do that, we need to understand what SDGs are, then identify the related SDG topic that the participants would prefer to teach in MTOTY application, then craft instructional objective for their preferred lesson, and be able to also choose how to measure their students' learning outcome. This is huge, but it's achievable. We'll try to be as fast as possible. At the same time, we'll try to make sure that you're getting what we are saying. So in as much as we're keeping to the speed, we're equally more interested in you picking the major points. So how do we choose MTOTY topic? First thing, the first question in the next part is examine the curriculum content of your major teaching subject in relation to the sustainable development goals. Identify a concept you will teach to your students for 40 minutes that will address education for sustainable development. Here is always how to teach to SDG goals. No matter how wonderful the topic is, it has to get connected to SDG goals. So the general tips to use here is to find a good topic is, first of all, you should have your copy of curriculum. How many of us have their curriculum? Do we have our curriculum in different subject areas?
Yes,
We have
yes,
a copy of our curriculum, like general curriculum. If you're teaching SS1, SS2, okay, you do very good. So that means you're about SDGs, and study and understand the SDGs. How many of us have researched on SDGs or have knowledge about SDGs? SDGs is Sustainable Development Goals. How many of us do we have? If you have, you can drop a comment in the chat. If you have either studied it by yourself or maybe attended programs where they talk about the SDGs, because everything you're going to do in the lesson is about SDGs in connection to your subject. So when you have good mastery of subject matter, the next thing is the good knowledge of SDGs so that you can interwoven the two to choose your topic and plan your lessons. So the next thing you do is to think or go through your curriculum. It's easier for you to bring a copy of your curriculum and look at each topic, because sometimes when you're thinking, you may not remember all the topics you have. But when you're looking at each of them, you'll be able to maybe underline or write out the ones you feel that are connected to the SDGs. Then consider the topic that will give you opportunity to apply diverse teaching methods and engage your students in meaningful learning. It's not a topic you pick then in planning your lesson, you will just enter the class and talk from beginning to the end. No. The more you can incorporate more teaching strategies and techniques, the better. Because as you incorporate that, you begin to bring out different skills in different domains. But if you're just teaching or doing probably lecture method, it will limit your opportunities. So you have to consider the topic that will give you that opportunity to apply diverse teaching methods and equally engage the students in the learning process. So it's not just you talking, but you have some learning activities for the students to go through. So having understood that, you think of the main concepts in the question, examine the curriculum content. There's two major things they talked about: sustainable development goals and education for sustainable development. These two things are usually confusing to some people. So I said that we'll look at what sustainable development goals are, then what is education for sustainable development. So if you look, can you still see this?
I think yes, we can, but we just have less than a minute to go.
We're about discussing the concept of sustainable development goals and the education for sustainable development. Most of us might have known about sustainable development goals, but I guess there are many people who might not equally know. So in 2015, about 173 countries of the world came together under United Nations to agree on certain problems that could be solved globally, problems or challenges that are affecting the world at large, and they itemized it into 17 development goal agenda. These are things that they want to achieve by the end of 2030. That is why it is called Agenda 2030. So the Sustainable Development Goals are just a framework, a comprehensive framework for development. What they want every country to focus on, so that believing that if we're able to solve these 17, if we're able to focus on these 17 issues, we'll be able to build a better future for ourselves. So the 17 goals, we might talk about it later. Now, but I want us to understand the education for sustainable development. So education for sustainable development is talking about all those educational approaches and contents that promote knowledge and understanding of sustainability concepts, principles, and practices, so as to empower learners to take action for sustainable development and to integrate sustainability into all areas of education or even life. So education for sustainable development is just for talking about teaching sustainable development goals and helping people to learn and take action about sustainable development goals. So what are those things we need to do? There are approaches that we need to emphasize or focus on, and there are contents we need to look at if we want to promote education for sustainable development in Nigeria or in any country. So look at education sustainable development goal in terms of approaches it emphasizes. Looks at critical thinking, promoting critical thinking in education or in classroom or in your subject area, problem solving, and application of knowledge, promoting application of knowledge. A lot of things we teach in our classroom has no connection. We fail to connect them to the realities of life, making it hard for the children to even understand the concept we are teaching. Sometimes it seems as if whatever we are teaching is in another world, while when we are done in the classroom, we come and exist in another world, because there is a disconnection. So the focus is that we should be able to teach whatever a concept that concerns sustainability in such a way that the people we are teaching can apply critical thinking, problem solving, and be able to apply whatever they have learned in an active learning environment, so as to make sure that these people will gather enough knowledge, skills, values, or motivation they need to address global challenges. Because they notice that no matter what we do, we must have to start with educating people, first of all, about sustainable development goals for us to equip and motivate those that will take action in order to achieve the goals. the government can actually achieve this. So that's why they developed the education for sustainable development. So the second part of it is looking at the content, what are the focus for sustainable development. Looking at the 17 goals, you can focus on the 17 goals. Issues like climate change, biodiversity, poverty reduction, human rights, peace building, sustainable consumption, production, global citizenship, so many others. There are a lot of issues. In fact, when you analyze the 17 sustainable development goals, you will see that it is hard to link to areas, all the areas of our lives. So it's just for us to be able to pinpoint, to understand what the goals are, to pinpoint when we are talking about, when we are designing our lesson. So let's quickly look at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. How many of us know about it? Do we already know about it? Do we need to talk more about it? Let me hear. Let me know whether we need to move to another thing. Do you think we need to talk about it?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. We'll quickly talk about them. So we have 17 goals. First of all, one is no poverty, hunger, good health and well-being, goal 3. Goal 4 is quality education. Goal 5 is gender equality. Goal 6 is clean water and sanitation. Goal 7 is affordable and clean energy. Goal 8 is decent work and economic growth. Goal 9 is industry, innovation and infrastructure. I noticed that it's not so clear here on the screen, but we'll talk about it in the next one. So reduced inequalities, goal 10. Sustainable cities and communities is goal 11. Responsible consumption and production, 12. Climate action is goal 13. Climate action is one of the most focused area among all these goal 17. We still know why when we talk about climate change. So 14 is life below water, 15 is life on land, 16 is peace, justice and strong institution, and 17 is partnership for the goals. This is actually global partnership for the goals. So let's quickly look at what are the goals. Remember, we know what goals are. Something we set out to achieve, specific targets. So what are the targets of these 17 goals? Number 1 is no poverty. So they are envisaging a situation whereby in 2030, we'll be able to meet all these targets. First of all is to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Looking at the rate of poverty, what can you do, or what should be done, or what should be taught in your classroom to help to reduce poverty? Zero hunger. What should be taught in your classroom to help to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition or promote sustainable agriculture? All these areas are under zero hunger as a goal. Then good health and well-being is looking at how you help the people to ensure that they live their healthy lifestyle, they live in a healthy way, promotes well-being for all at all ages, so that you be sure that the mortality rates is reduced for young people, for women, and there's good healthcare system and all that. So quality education is talking about ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education that can equally promote lifelong learning opportunity. This quality education, most times when they talk about it, they talk about access to education, and they talk about dropout rates and all that. But beyond access, the problem of Nigerian education is beyond just access, because we have millions of people that are going to school, that have graduated from school, but the quality of learning, teaching and learning is so poor. So we need to look at the quality of engagement, classroom activities. What do we engage our children in to promote quality? Because why people shout that school is scam is because they couldn't show something for what they have spent their time and their resources over the years for. So what are we going to do in the classroom to actually help these people to gain knowledge, skills, and be able to apply it to help themselves? That's what I look at as quality education. Then gender equality, to achieve gender equality and empower women and girls. When we talk about gender equality, they are looking at a lot of areas, not just the women, but most often the emphasis is more on women. But then there are any kind of inequality existing, disparity is gender is a problem under gender equality. So their goal is to make sure that whatever issues that could cause gender disadvantage, in terms of maybe career, terms of access to education, like some places where people say that they don't send girls to school, or some places where the boys are more in the market or doing some other things because they feel like education don't pay. So what do we do to make sure that we encourage them to go through formal education? So this is clean water and sanitation. What are we going to do or teach, or how are we going to teach in such a way that we promote clean water and sanitation? So we need to ensure availability and sustainable management of water, and also sanitation for all. Not just that we have water available, but it has to be clean for consumption. Clean sources of energy, sources of power we had for the one we use for driving our vehicles, the one we use in companies, factories, and all that. The sources of power is a serious concern of how it connects to issues of climate change due to the carbon emission. So they are looking for a way that will focus, we will teach our children to let them produce things that will consider energy that is clean. Energy that is clean is energy that doesn't exude gases, those poisonous gases that causes climate change. So we have decent work and economic growth, which is focusing on promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work. So many of us in Nigeria are either unemployable, or we are underemployed, or we are not employed at all. So these are major issues under decent work and economic growth. So what are you going to do in your classroom, or teach in your classroom, or engage your students in to make sure that you prepare them for the future of work, so that they don't become stranded after graduation, and whatever they do are sustainable and mess the environment. That's why they put sustainability. So it's not just creating jobs, but creating jobs that are not harmful to the people or harmful to the environment. So the number 9 is talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. The goal is to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization. Whenever you see sustainable, know that they are talking about less harmful or not harmful at all. Is whatever system where our industries, our innovation, our infrastructure, consider the fact that we want it to be improved, but at the same time, we don't want it to be harmful to the people or to the environment. So we're looking for smart ways of building houses, smart ways of production, manufacturing, and all that. That's what this area is focusing on. So they want to foster innovation in such a way that we consider human health and environmental health. Then number 10 is reduced inequality. Reduce inequality within and among countries. So many countries are so rich, while some are so poor. So they are looking at a way to reduce inequality, starting from ourselves to the level of maybe between among the citizens and among the countries, like among members of a particular country, and at the same time between other countries. We promote the economy of other people such a way that we reduce inequality. So we don't have the poorest of the poor. Maybe someone gets one place enjoying daily meal. So sustainable city and community is still talking about the urban system, the human settlement, how safe it is, how less poisonous or less harmful they are, even though they are equally innovative and beautiful. So we have responsible consumption and production, this area is
Madam
looking at.
Stella, we have less than 5 minutes for your session. What do we do?
Okay,
Yes, please.
so I'll quickly talk about climate action because that's where I want to. The remaining part maybe later you people can look up on that, but then I want to talk about
Okay.
climate action. So the climate action is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. The climate change and its impact, like I said earlier, is a serious issue of serious concern. Okay, I think we have a session where we will talk about that, so I'll quickly move. So life online is just protecting human life. Peace, justice, we already know. Then partnership is how individuals or governments or non-governmental organizations can partner to promote this. So the general question now is, which of the SDGs do you think is connected to your subject area? Amongst all that we talked about, think of connecting your topic with either the concepts of the SDG goals or directly to the topic. Now, because of time, I'm not sure I'll be able to run through all this. I don't know how much time was given to me though, but connecting the global goals to various subjects, I tried
You were
to.
given 20 minutes, but we spent quite beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So connecting the global goals to various subjects, you can look at no poverty. Those in economics, those in civic education, those in mathematics can think of how to connect there. Zero hunger, agriculture, and home economics, good health and well-being. Can talk about biology, health education, mathematics. In fact, mathematics can go through in all the goals. Then goal 4 is for everybody. Once you're a teacher, you can always scale through in quality education. So let's think of 21st century learner-centered teaching approaches that you can use to teach your lessons that stay promoting quality education. Civic education, people can talk about different topics, human rights, world, civic problem and all that. Mathematics too. Gender equality, those in social studies can also look at that. Governments can look at gender equality. Clean water and sanitation, those in geography can look at that. Chemistry, those in chemistry can look at that as well. Then affordable and clean energy, those in physics, those in basic science and technology, those in chemistry can actually look at that. Including every other person, it depends on how critical and creative you are about your lessons. Then number 8 is decent work and economic growth. Affordable and clean energy, biology should equally be there, I forgot that. So decent work and economic growth, you can look at economics, commerce, civic education, and any other subjects. The commerce aspect of any other subject can come in there. Industry, innovation and infrastructure, those in technical education, information and communication technology, that is computer science, can look at that. Reduced inequality, those in social studies and government can look at this goal. Sustainable cities and communities, those here can look at that. And responsible consumption and production, those in economics and agriculture can look at that. Climate change, those in environmental sciences, geography, chemistry, civic education, biology, and any other subject that anybody that can. I'm just giving instances, so this is not exhaustive. Then life below water, biology, geography, life on land, biology, geography, peace, justice, and strong institutions, civic education, government, and partnership for the goals. So how do you craft your learning objective? The moment you have picked this topic now, you have solved major problem. The next thing is to just look at the topic and pick objective that will align with the concept or topic you want to teach. Bearing in mind these things, use action verbs to describe your desired outcome. And always bear in mind the 3 domains of learning: the cognitive, the affective, and the psychomotor. And make sure that you incorporate specific skills and knowledge, like specific skills depending on your subject area. For instance, I gave an example here, like somebody that is teaching English language lesson, maybe on persuasive writing or essay writing or something. At the end of the day, make sure you give an assignment that will bring out skills in essay writing. Don't just say the child will be able to define and all that. Maybe student will be able to write a persuasive essay advocating for sustainable consumption and production practices, something like that. So make sure you foster critical thinking and problem solving. Thus, design your objective in such a way that you'll be able to foster critical thinking, bring objective that will maybe make children to analyze, evaluate, and apply the knowledge they have gathered. So the last one is promote collaboration and social responsibility. So make sure there's a way you create your object, make your objective in such a way that the children will be able to maybe collaborate in small groups to do one or two, just have a teamwork or sense of social responsibility, maybe assign projects to them that they will do together, so that in that you're engaging them beyond just the lesson they have learned and they're applying the knowledge that they have learned. So how to measure, clearly define your learning objective. So once you're able to pick your topic and you're able to clearly define your objective is always linked to the measurement. Whatever you picked as your objective makes it easier for you. Just think, how can I now check whether this person have achieved what I said I want him or her to achieve? That's just in the measurement. So there are so many ways you can do that depending on the method you're choosing. So choose appropriate assessment method. Don't just pick anything or copy anything. You can use projects, you can use presentation, quiz, group discussion, debate, or practical activities, and then find ways to assess them, maybe assess through observation, incorporate formative assessments, not just marking, maybe just asking them direct question and marking. Sometimes engage them in class discussions to observe how much they gathered from what you've taught, do concept marking, self-assessment, peer assessment, maybe somebody assessing this person, short quizzes, you can do quizzes, physical quiz or online quizzes. Okay, I've talked about projects, so I'll quickly leave it. So the last one, make sure that, okay, I've talked about critical thinking, so have a way of measuring their critical thinking, assess students' ability to think deeply or ask thought-provoking questions about that topic or concept that you can use question technique. You can ask them to raise questions about that topic, and by the time you go through, you see how deep they are in thought. Then use technology and multimedia. If you can always integrate technology in what you are planning in this, it will be wonderful. But if you cannot, it's not just about technology, but teaching the technology very well. So the student can engage in online quiz. You can tell them maybe the assessment could be like create a video in line with whatever you've taught, maybe podcasts, digital presentations, or whatever. It could be a slide like this, maybe simple slide. It could be just audio recording. Depends on whatever method you're using and the topic you're teaching. So finally, okay, collaborate. Use if you have used collaborative assessment teaching method, then look for a way to assess their communication within themselves, how much they engage in teamwork during the lesson. Those are the things you can assess. Then monitor and track progress. How observe whatever they are doing. Observation is a very important formative way of assessing the children. So always observe the students' performance, engagement, and participation in whatever you give. Look at their work and how they are improving, not just how they fail. Sometimes we judge failure instead of judging improvement. So, to ease off, just listen to this video. Unfortunately, it's not so loud. Can you hear that?
No. You can give it more volume. Give it more volume.
To go. I don't know why. Just from your own end, whether okay.
Or if you can send the video to me, maybe I'll play it when you are. You can send the video. Maybe I can.
Okay. So, question and discussion will come afterwards, I guess. Yes. So, the art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Teaching is not about filling a bucket but lighting a fire. So the best teacher are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. So I hope I've been able to show you where to look. It's up to you to choose what to see, and I'm wishing you good luck in the forthcoming Montana Teacher of the Year. And I expect we have many champions from this team. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Stella. Thank you for showing us where to look. And honestly, as we are looking, we are already seeing greatness. We are seeing success. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you and we say God bless you. Thank you, Ma. Um, I'm sure Mr. Alaku is on with us now. Mr. Adewale, please can you confirm that?
I think he's here. Mr. Laku. Okay, let me try to let me check the call.
It's all right. So while we are waiting for Mr. Adewale to get through to Mr. Alaku, we're looking at the second focus rather, which is the delivery method, class activities and resources. So that's what Mr. Lako will be taking us through. He will teach us after we have probably picked our topic. So we'll look at the delivery method. How can we come up with our delivery method? How can we look at come up with our class activities and resources? That's what he's going to be taking us through. Then Mr. Adewale will wrap it up with instructional delivery during COVID, which is about 5 minutes. Then Mrs. Ifoma will still come back to take us through climate change. Although I don't know if she has taken that session with the just concluded session. I wouldn't know. But if she still wants to come back, that's for item. That will be covering item 18 to item 19. I don't know if we all have our application form printed out. I have mine. So like as we are going through the session now, I'm just like taking down my notes. So if we can just quickly go through or probably get our application form so that we can take notes and we can also come up with our questions too. So if we have questions along the line, there's still going to be the time for Q&A. We can come up with our questions. So let's just drop that down. So, Ms. Adewale, are you back online?
All right, thank you very much. I'm trying to reach out to Mr. Laku, but I guess maybe he's having network issue. But for now, I think
I'm here. I'm here. Good morning.
Oh yes, thank you.
Okay,
Great.
So, Mr. Laku, you're welcome online. Thank you so much for joining us. I am still looking forward to where we are going to meet physically. We have been seeing online, but I personally, Adiola Kishore, I am still looking forward to where we will see. So I hope maybe I'm the one that will come and meet you, or you're the one that will come. Whichever way, I know we are seeing very soon. All right, so without wasting much of our time, please join me, welcome Mr. Laku to take us through the section 2 of instructional planning. So it's going to be taking us through how we can come up with our delivery method, class activities, and resources. Mr. Laku, please take it over from here. You have 20 minutes.
All right, thank you very much. I hope you hear me very well. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Perfectly.
All right. Sorry, I had to log out for a bit. I swapped to my phone. This is like and I'm also coordinating something very close by, so I'll try to be as good as possible.
Hello, Mr. Laku. Hello, sir.
Yes.
A minute. So sorry. Please, I don't know. I don't know Google Meet has got to this level, but I've tried to share the link to the WhatsApp group where we have applicants and the past winner where they can guide us. So you will see that in the chat box. We can join the group in case if anything happen, whatever, we'll be communicating with you there. Then we also use your mail to communicate with you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Alaku, sir.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. All right, so since we're talking about the delivery method, and I appreciate the presentation by Madam Stella, like somebody actually said earlier on. So in relation to SDG goals, my field of study is STEM education, and I take physics and basic science. Basically. So, but my lesson plan for my application last year was on physics, physics and SS1 specific. So let's say, for example, I want to plan a lesson. I selected a topic. Let's say the topic I picked for physics is harnessing the power of solar energy. So, and if I look at solar energy relates to clean energy SDG goals, which is number uh, which is sustainable cities and communities, and affordable and clean energy. That's goal number 7. So I know I am on point. So whatever theme or topic or scheme you want to pick, make sure you relate it to whatever it is that is very relatable and relates to one of the goals. That is where a lot of energy. So let's say for example, I come to my class, right? And I want to talk about harnessing energy from solar energy, energy from the sun. Let's say for I will try by using method of inquiry, well-known method of inquiry, and delivering of our lessons. So let me track back a little bit. People will be delivering our lessons. I want us to focus because post COVID-19, our learning methods went from um, teacher centered. Our focus of learning went from teacher centered to student centered learning. We're not talking about learner centered learning or student centered learning. We're just talking about strategies that what strategies that encourage students to be involved actively in the teaching and learning process. It puts learners in the center of the learning process, and we provide opportunities for these learners to learn independently. So we have different of this kind of method. We have inquiry learning. We have like key sessions.
Okay, I think Mr. Alako is having issues with it. Okay, he's back online. Majila, so please kindly mute yourself, please.
I don't know what happened. I just got locked out. I'm back.
Okay, welcome back.
All right. Thank you. I said all these learner centered methods, talking about collaborative methods, inquiry methods of learning, experimental learning strategies, talk about flipped classrooms. We talk about I think multimedia too is learner centered using instructional materials, that's regalia, and so on. There are so many learner centered instructions. So let me say PBL, program based learning, also learner centered approach. So, like I was saying, I'll use the inquiry method to ask probing questions. Ask kind of probing questions because I want them to think critically. So, let's say, for example, I ask them, what do they understand by solar cells? What do they understand by solar energy? Then, when they speak to me, I get to understand their opinions, I get to understand their thought process. I get to understand their thought processes and what's it called? How they are thinking. Then I get to realign their thought process to be able to allow them understand and have better clarity the of the solar energy or the solar cells I'm talking about. So I'll use inquiry to begin my lesson, which is the learner center, right? It allows us to interact for a short period of time. After we get to interact and I have the feedback from them, they will tell me that okay, this is how these guys are thinking. Okay, they're thinking in line with what I have for them, or they're thinking not in line with what I have for them. So I will put their misconceptions straight using the inquiry method of learning. Then step 2 for my presentations, I will probably do something like multimedia instruction. Let's say multimedia instruction, or I will bring in my instruction and show them what I have for them. I will build the solar cells I have for them and have them in groups. Before putting in groups, I bring the solar cells, deliver my lecture. whatever method I want to use. Either I want to use discussion, collaboration, or I want to use multimedia. Maybe show them video, audio, slides, pictures, to show them in reality how this multimedia. Hello, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go on. We can hear you.
Yes, yes, we
Yes.
can hear you, Alako, but
Yes,
we have lots of background noise coming from your
yes.
hand.
Okay,
Maybe you try to help us to move away a little bit from this.
Noise is coming from your hand.
okay. Okay, like I said, I'm conducting something with students, so it can be rowdy. Sorry for the background noise. Okay, let me say my first step I used the inquiry to introduce my lesson to probe, ask the students how they to find out how the students are thinking, how whether they have how their misconceptions about the topic is. Secondly, I will do my lesson proper. I will either use multimedia, this slides, this TV, audio, video to deliver my lesson, or use instructional materials to deliver lesson. After that, right, I can when you use all this video and things that relate to student senses, they can be able to understand properly. They can be able to understand properly. Their thinking goes beyond the four walls of the classroom. Their thinking goes beyond the four walls of the classroom. So you can. It's very good for teaching abstract concepts. Also, then thirdly, right, to finish my class, I can either do this. I can use a collaborative method to bring maybe I also have panels in the class. I can put them in groups and ask them to discuss this or discuss this and that. Maybe 2 minutes, right? With the solar panels in the class. Maybe I have enough that I can group them. Maybe these little solar cells and maybe a bulb used to connect and see whether it's working and so on. That's a collaborative session. Afterwards, right, I can ask the students to come and do a presentation for me. Then, or I will do a quiz for them. I can do a quiz for them to finish my session, to finish my period. Like I said, I like using examples so that you can be able to understand where I'm coming from. Like you can see my 3 steps to deliver this lesson. I started with inquiry. Next, I use instructional materials to present it, or I use my what's it called, multimedia to present my lesson and to teach. Right? Take questions, ask questions. Then I can use my third step now to either use collaboration, or I can actually use discussion to discuss our findings, to discuss what we've learned from the class, and so on. I think that's my 2 cents about presenting a lesson. This, if you arrange it in form of this steps like this, I think you have you're giving the let's say the examiners or evaluators, you're giving them pointers of how you will actually present this class in reality. You're giving them a reality of what you're going to do in the class. I'm not saying that some people will do something like, okay, I'll use inquiry method, right? Then they start putting inquiry method is defined as this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that's wrong, though, but I will rather explain how I'll use that method in the class. Briefly, shortly, straight to the point, right? Okay, are we all following? I think like I'm talking to
Yeah,
myself.
with you. Yeah, with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
I
we are
hope
with
I
you.
am making a bit of
Mr.
sense.
Hello, sir. We
Yes,
are with you. I'm just taking stylish.
I hope
Yes, I'm taking stylish. I'm just sharing the form stylishly so that they can go along with what you are saying.
okay, yes, I can see your screen. I can see your screen. So, also, let me jump into class activity. I hope if there are no questions on that lesson delivery. Let's get into class activity. So, let's say I'm talking about a lesson of harnessing the power of solar energy. It's under physics. I say it's under grade 7, which is clean energy, and I think grade 4 sustainable cities and communities. Because when we're talking about solar energy, you talk about how you are reducing the emission of carbon, the what's this called, the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere by using generators, using industrial machinery, and so on. to pollute the environment. So this relates to the SDG. You can also look at the energy as a topic under physics, like chemistry and under English and so on. I cannot really, bring out topics right now, but we are all teachers, esteemed teachers, and we know the fields that we relate to these goals that Mrs. Stella spoke about earlier. So coming down to class activities, let's say for example, like I said, I've got solar panels in class. How do I illustrate that these solar panels or these solar cells capture photons, light energy, and they give us what's it called? We convert the energy from the sun into electricity. How do we illustrate that? Maybe they take it outside of the class, put it under the sun for a while, and let us see whether let's connect the solar panel, solar cell to a little bulb, LED bulb, and we are electricity the lights coming out. So that is one of my activities. I registered it as number one to show that solar cells produce light. Let's just use that for example. Number two, to show that energy is transformed, heat energy is transformed to electrical energy. That's also one presentation. Number three, what again? I don't know. Sorry about me, I'm just speaking off from the top, right? Let me use another example. Let's say I'm going to use the topic of energy, right? If I say energy is the ability to work, I can ask my students to simply carry a locker in the class, right? That is an ability to work. So how do I express that you can provide energy from the food you're eating for energy? Maybe I bring a snack and I eat it, or I ask them to tell me how they feel after they eat food. If the food gets digested, how is it converted to energy? That's another example of class activity. We're talking about how other energy, talking about converting mechanical energy to electrical energy. I could have a generator close by, right? Let's say, for example, NEPA 6 light, and I need lights for my television. I have a standby generator close by. What is a little standby generator? It converts mechanical energy. Because of its mechanical working, the mechanical device converts mechanical energy to electrical energy. That is the classroom activity. I think it's going to go and power that generator. That is the activity, that's the classroom activity. I can take part of the class we need where the generator is and we can see how it is powered on. Then I can also look at how you can generate power using an electric motor. You know what electric motor can bring to class. That is one of my resources. Right, so as I'm turning the motor, I can connect to the little energy or as it's turning it to bring electricity. That is the classroom activity. How I'm converting mechanical energy to what electrical energy. This example is going to be how. Yeah, that's energy. Another one is converting heat energy to electrical energy to heat energy. That is when we connect what we call volume to power source. Obviously, the room gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So the higher the current, the higher the heat produces. Those are kind of pressing iron. So these are examples of classroom activities and list down, you can itemize and list down in your application. There are so many ways you can break down activities. You can itemize them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I, so on. So let's itemize our activities so that we be clear, we concise to the point, giving the person who is doing your work, giving the person who is reading your work the ability to understand what you're doing in the classroom. Somebody say you cannot hear what I'm saying. I don't know if it's from me or it's from his network.
Okay, can I ask a question, sir?
Yes.
Please, must the class of activity be in line with the topic that you are giving a lesson on?
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
is it
Yes.
compulsory?
I will
Okay.
recommend you go in line with what your objective, the topic is, whatever you're going to do. Because
Oh,
if you look at the form, let me open the form. You look at the form, right?
yeah.
From item number 4 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. They all relate to one thing. The topic you pick, the objectives you write. So you have to be in line with whatever it is you pick. So you don't jump ship. Say, okay, you started this, you went to this. No, no, no. Because you're showing us that you're doing what's convenient for you.
Oh,
If you're planning a lesson, do you move from, or you're teaching a lesson, do you move from A to B, or you try
okay.
to break down A as best
Thank
as
you,
you
sir.
can, then you move to B and so on. You're welcome. Mr. Uchechi is saying that you cannot hear me.
Hello, sir, Mr. Lakun. Hello, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
there will still be a section for questions and answers. So our people should just exercise patience. When we get there, they can just come up with their question. We've asked Mr. Ganiu to help Mr. Ganiu and Mr. Dapo Kehinde, please help us to copy out the question so that you share it on the WhatsApp platform. We can use that when it is questions and answer. And of course, we will also allow people to unmute their mic to ask questions when it is time.
okay, okay. All right, so let me move into resources. This one is, I think this one is definitely self-explanatory. Let's say, for example, okay, like I was talking about energy as a topic, right? And what do I want to do? I spoke about using electric motor, electric dynamo motor. Yeah, I'll bring that as learning resource material. I'll bring an LED bulb as a learning resource material. My light bulb that I'm going to bring when I power a generator to show that light has come on is a learning resource material. The portable solar panel I'm bringing to show how heat energy is uh, sorry, to show that solar energy is converted to electrical energy is a resource material. If I use a protector in class, it's a resource material. If I bring instructional material to class, it's a resource material. The generator I brought, or that we're going to use, or the one that is close to us, is a resource material because it relates to the topic I'm talking about. And so many other ideas that relate to your topic. So you bring the resource materials that relate to your topic, and those resource materials, to me, I will want you to reflect it in your classroom activity because what's the point of bringing resource materials to the class if you're not going to use it for your classroom activities? I don't know if you guys are getting me. I'm very sorry if I'm very fast. I'm sorry if I'm very fast. Like I said, I'm conducting something, so leaving children on their own can be risky sometimes. So, are we okay? I think that should be that about the resources that you need to bring to the classroom. So, like you bring, like in your lesson plan, when you write, I brought this comma, this comma, this comma. In this form, we have so much space. So why not just do it to itemize them, the learning material that you brought to the class, itemize them, and let's say you can, if you want, you can just write something short, what you use them for. Although you've already indicated them in the class activity, but also you can just indicate what you use them for in the class. So I think my session stops here for now, right? Or am I doing the challenges, encounter and planning evaluation? I think my session stops here. Mr. Kayode.
Mr. Kaude, where are you coming in? Instructional delivery.
Yes,
Mr. Kaude is coming in as instructional delivery.
but let Mr. Alaku check the screen. I think there's another thing that is linked to his question. Like this, how will you measure the learning outcome of the student?
Yes, how to measure learning objective of the student. Instructional objective. The instructional objectives.
I think I spoke on that earlier.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
spoke
how will
on
I measure the
Yes, Madam Stella spoke on that.
yeah, I think she
connection
spoke
to
about that.
the learning objective.
Yes. She spoke about that.
Okay,
If
so
I'm not, if I remember,
yes,
I said
maybe
yes.
Mr. Laku should just talk about challenges. I think what is left now is challenges, then follow-up activities. Then the other part is for Mr. Kaode.
Okay. Alright, no, wahala.
So they said we should come
So,
up, mention some of the challenges that you may encounter in planning, delivery, evaluation, and ensuring sustainability.
Okay. Um, so the challenges will be peculiar. These challenges that I encounter will be peculiar to the topic or the topic I'm addressing specifically on my form. Like I said, this form from like item 4 to like 8 or 9, they are in line with the same thing. So that's one of the tricks about this form. If you don't understand this, you miss it. You miss it. So in planning this classroom, not talking about other sessions or other um, lesson planning we're doing. In looking at this classroom, right? What challenges do we have? Okay, like I said, I might be using multimedia in my classroom. I might have a TV presentation, a visual presentation, an audio presentation, which I might require electricity. So the lack of electricity might be a challenge, right? That's why I spoke about the generator, the backup generator that is there. But the generator also relates to my topic. That is why it's there. But if you don't have one, you can write it that based on your if you're using like you need to have a video session, audio session that needs lights, right? I have an experiment in the lab that requires light. You require electricity. So this is one of the challenges, right? So how do you augment with that? So time factor, sometimes one lesson, this thing, one period may not be enough for planning this your assessment. So you can just put it out there that okay, this time factor, you have challenges. Sometimes you want to do collaborative learning, where you group them together, get them to settle down, do the activity and present time as well. So you really need to look into that time factor. And in terms of sustainability, if the time is not enough, right, how can you deliver quality education? Quality education is, I think, if you're going to good students, right? You're going to good students, um, so on. If you're in a single school, okay, I will put them based on my learning ability. Those who are right. So you never really have the specific goal, but you can also still refer to the original goal in which you mentioned in your learning objective, right? Maybe your preparation of this lesson is triggered based on the activities you have. And also, it's one of the challenges, how you overcome them. Then the lesson topic, right? The energy, it relates to, like I say, it relates to the system. And you will give assignments, maybe in project-based assignments, to show, to ask the students this is activity, or this activity which relates to this and this. All right, I don't know whether I'm making sense here. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
Yes, yes, sure. So I think I don't know if we have question for him, but there's still a session for question and answer. So Mr. Adewale Kaode, you have like 5 minutes to just wrap up. Um, Teaching a lesson during a pandemic, what measures will you put in place? But before we move on to that, I want to say a special thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lapo. Although we are not telling you to leave the sector
Okay,
yet, too.
yeah,
We are
okay,
not
hold on a bit.
saying. All right.
Hold on a bit. There's a bit of
It's all right.
let's use this little time
Okay.
so that Mr. Kayode will start with a fresh session.
It's
Right?
all right.
If you
It's all
understand
right.
what I'm saying. So
It's
Mr.
all
Kayode, if
right.
you can start arranging a link for us before this one ends, I will
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
it.
because it's
So
gonna
that
end
when this one
in
goes off,
5 minutes.
Yes,
so that when we close
Yes.
off,
yes, thank you very
when
much.
this one goes off, you
Yes,
just jump in and start your session.
yes, thank you very
Let me
much.
just exhaust this one, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Right? So that before it finishes, you start dropping a link for us in the group.
Yes, yes, I will do
It's
that.
all
I
right.
will even drop it on the chat box here too.
Thank you. So that people can start moving. Maybe in when it's remaining 2 minutes, you can start moving out. So follow-up
Okay.
activities. For
Okay.
example, you give an assignment, right? So the assignment can be long-term or it can be short-term. Give an assignment you want them to submit next class, which is short-term. Or you want them, an assignment that you want them to submit next term. Then we talk about project-based learning, right? Project-based learning, you want to give them a project. to go and do at home, right? You give them a project to go and do at home. It's to go and develop or the concept of how biogas is sustainable, or how what's this digester, how the working operation of the digester, and how it's supposed to, how does it generate electricity and so on. You can be creative with that, or you can give them a project and say, okay, go and construct, or go and draw, or go and tell us the working principle of this and that. That is a long-term assignment that you want to give them over the holiday or midterm. Or if you want to give a short-term assignment, give them an assignment that relates, right? Or the secondly, yeah, mostly project kind of learning. Sorry, I'm talking about STEM because it relates to me. I don't want to be selfish here because I know that Stella can talk about how it can be fixed. Okay, somebody else can tell you about how about non-STEM lessons, how you can prepare them. And when you guys have station, somebody asks, is it necessary submission? So you can ask assignments again, follow-up activities. It could be within and outside. You can ask them questions like, okay, if your solar cell goes beyond so, how would you fix it? Or tell me the difference between kinetic energy, potential energy. How does it apply? That is a follow-up activity. You can ask students to describe what they have for lunch, right? They have for tea, and how to give them enough energy to stay the whole day for classes. Whether students bring up things you can discuss within the classroom. So that is an activity for you too. That's also an activity. It's a long-term one. You tell them, hey, you go and write for me how the dinner I ate helped you to study properly for the credit. That is an activity. So like I said, categorize it into long-term, short-term, practical things that you can do to, to report to you to show that, okay, this is going to.
I thank you, Mr. Alako, for that engaging and insightful session. And without wasting much time, Mr. Adewale Kaude, you have just 7 minutes to quickly take us through your session now. Then we'll use the remaining 20 minutes for question and answer. And I am looking at by 12:30, we should wrap up this webinar. Mr. Adewale, please, over to you. In fact, 6 minutes now for you. Or I will still give you 7 minutes. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I think the next thing, please don't mind me. I will be using, I'll be admitting people's in simultaneously. So let me quickly share I may not even spend up to that because I know most of those things that I wanted to say, Mr. Alaku have actually talked about that in his, why he was answering the question in the areas of activities. So this next section, well, thank you, Mr. Alaku. Thank you, Mr. Alaku, for that an insightful section from your own end. The next question is related to this. If you look at the next question, it's related to the number 10 in Mr. Alaku question. If you are to teach this during pandemic, what measure will you put in place? It's just like this item 17, instructional delivery. And there has been a changes in emphasis in instructional delivery brought about by COVID-19 pandemic. Briefly explain two of these changes. Of course, he has tell us why he started the section that in the conventional method encourage teachers centered. That is, it is only teachers that talks. It is only teachers that talk. Teachers ask you to do this. In fact, it reflects in our lesson plan. Teacher do this, teacher do that. There is no point where we say, oh, the students do this. So that is the changes that COVID-19 brought in. The shutdowns of the classes. While classes were closed down, there is need for teachers to work to allow students to do some of those activities on their own. And those are the changes that COVID-19 brought in. So instructional delivery, when we look at it, instructional delivery refer to interaction among the students, the teachers and the content. So that means instructional delivery is centered around 3 sets of things: the teachers, the content, and the what, and the knowledge. So that means you must rotate whatever you want to rotate. What platform or what method do you use to connect those 3 people during COVID-19 while everybody were at home? Many of us make use of WhatsApp, many even use Google Meet, many use many use Zoom in connecting the students with the content you are sharing with them. All these experience are what they want you to share here. In fact, if you want to help the whole things, if you want to assist, if you want to make your application to be rich, you can go ahead and get the links of what you did during that pandemic and share it in your application. It's going to make your application rich. Mr. Adiola, can you hear me?
Perfectly, sir.
All right,
We can hear you, sir.
So for those of us that did a lot of things during COVID-19, during that lockdown, we can go ahead and bring in the link of those things that we use then and attach it to support your write-up. It will make your application, it will enrich your application. So like I said again, if you look at it now, here I was talking about instructional delivery. So what are those things do you use to connect the 3 of them together? Many of us then, what we don't know is that if you go back, for those of us that have been proactive then, we share some of those things that we do then on our Facebook account. You can go back to your Facebook account or any of your social handles that you share those contents on, then go back and copy those links and attach it to support your write-up. So while the judges were reading that, they would definitely click those links and see that, oh, definitely this person have an evidence. And even if you have picture, and that is why I do tell people, anything you do, keep record of everything you do. So just within 10 or 5 lines, you've completed this place. The changes, those things that you brought in during COVID-19. I can see some of my colleagues are here. I know a lot of things they did during lockdown. In Ogun State, I was fortunate to be among the first set of 20 that organized Ogundigi class. Those people that we did Ogundigi class then, the link of those videos were still online. Go and copy those links and attach it to support your write-up. It will enrich your application because those are those things that you do, those are those things that we use to connect the students and then the knowledge we are trying to share during that time. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that is all for now for my own section. So let's Mrs. Over to you, the moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Adewale, for making that very brief. So we want to go to question and answer. I noticed that some of us, we have dropped our questions during the previous sessions, the previous connections that we had. Please, this is actually a new link, so we might not be able to have access to those questions. For example, I think I saw Glory when she dropped her question, but we might not have access to that question now. So please, you might need to drop your question again. And so let's start with people that just want to ask their question directly.
Hello ma,
you can just unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
Hello ma, I think there is still particular.
Or do you want everybody to type?
No, let them type. There is a particular, there is an important section, which is the last section, attestation.
Oh, let me check.
Yes.
It's all right. Although there is still discipline and class management.
So the next one now is climate change. I think maybe Mrs. Stella can just say something about that.
No, she already mentioned some things on climate change, so we might not need to go there again.
Okay, let's move to Alaku then to talk about what is it called? Let's move to Alaku.
Discipline and class management.
Yes.
Then finally, teacher quality. Mr. Mr. Adewale, you have already spoken about attestation. So we might not need to go over that again. That you already said something about attestation, that we should have it on the page, that we should get our head of school to sign for us. So we don't need to go over that again. So Mr. Alaku should just take us through discipline and class management and teacher quality. And that will be all.
Mr. Adiola is actually my own topic, classroom management.
Okay, please, over to you, Madam Stella.
I'd like to take the last session. So
It's all right.
I'll quickly talk about that. We are all teachers, so I don't think I need to dwell so much on this, but just let's quickly look at few things that we can use in our classroom management. Classroom management is just talking about those strategies and techniques you use to ensure that you have effective and efficient teaching delivery, teaching and learning activities in your class. So how do you engage your children to make sure that learning happens? So you have to avoid distraction, and at the same time, you have to make sure that they are following. So there are some things we normally do. When we talk about classroom management, it's not just about those that are making noise, but those that are not following. How do we make them follow? So sometimes I have to use question techniques and the engagement, ask them question, I ask them to do something. By doing that, they pay attention and they want to follow, or it draws attention of all the class members. Use your eye contact or facial expression. There are things a particular child will be doing. You don't need to talk. Once you look at the person, they will keep quiet. You save your time and will not distract other children as well. You can equally reorganize the sitting arrangement. Some children might choose to sit beside their friends so that they keep making noise. So you can just come in, change their sitting position so that it will help you to concentrate. You can use simple punishment when it is necessary. Always, if you are using that, always emphasize when it is necessary. So you can tell them to kneel down, stand up, stand out, all those things. But that has to be when it is necessary, depending on the nature of the children you're handling or the class. Then positive reinforcement is very important in classroom management. You can use recognition, reward, and commendations. Like somebody did something or said something rightly. It doesn't matter how little it is. That little effort the child made and was able to say something and you recognize it. We encourage other children to say something or to do something so they will be recognized or commended. So you can use rewards, simple rewards. It depends. You can give simple things. Sometimes even clapping is enough. Clap for him or her. So all these things are things we can apply in our classroom management. Showing a concern is very important. Sometimes some children are emotionally down and all that, so they don't need to kneel down or for you to punish them. Rather, they need for you to show concern or care. Try to find out what is happening to a child or the whole class when there's unusual lack of disposition in learning. Then establish a better communication or connection with your students. Knowing the names of your students always helps, so that when you address them by name, they always know that uncle knows me or auntie knows me, so they want to respect themselves. But when they think they are not known, they can always disturb your class and all that. So these are some of the simple learning classroom management approaches or strategies that we can use. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Stella. That was short and very impactful. In fact, I have a lot of things that I have been jotting. Thank you so much for that eye-opening information. So I don't know if Mr. Alaku still wants to add some things to that. All right. If not, let's move over to you, Mr. Okay.
The last one. His session is the last one. That's why he's not talking. His session is
all
the
right.
very last one.
Okay, the very last one. Okay, how come I'm mixing it up? So we are going to okay. Teacher quality. Who is on teacher quality?
That's AY Alaku.
Mr. Alaku, speak on that.
Yeah, so that's where we are now. It's all right. So, Mr. Adewale, please, over to you on attestation.
All right. So, while waiting for Mr. Laku, if you can still join us, we will talk about the teachers' quality. But of course, it's not something. Teachers' quality is not something that is new to many of us here. You know what to put in there. We are just looking for a way to guide us. So, like I said, I've just dropped the link to the WhatsApp platform on the chat box. Let's check that and let's try to join the WhatsApp platform. So we will keep on guiding you until the submission. So the last thing we are going to take now, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can.
All right. Thank you very much. And our dear participants, we are very sorry for all these breaking out of a thing. We don't know. I don't know that Google Meet has gone to this level, but I can assure you I'm recording every step of this section. I'm going to edit it and put it on I'll put it on my Facebook, and I'll also share it on the YouTube too, so that we can have access to everything we have said at the beginnings of the section till the end. So the last thing there is that attestation. This area is very, very important. Attestation area is very, very important because this is where you are going to authenticate every of your application. At this point, it's very crucial, because if you didn't authenticate what you have done, it shows possibly you just copy somebody's own and you want to put in. So it's like the security of your application. So of course, your name is not something new. Just put in your name. On the signature, what you just need to do, just like the same method that I use, just you might have signed your signature on a paper and capture it and save it on your system, and come here. If I come here now, I want to bring in my signature. I have my signature here. So if you can see that now, you will see that my signature is already here on the platform. Can we see my signature? So that shows this. And we also have background remover. We have many applications you can use to remove the background and just bring in only the pictures of your signature. So with that, you have been able to sign in into this application. Then what else again? Then the date. Of course, the date you are submitting that application, you have to put it there. Then the last one there, which is very, very important, is endorsement by the head of school. Endorsement by the head of school. How do we do this? The best way to do the endorsement by the head of school is for you to print out this last page. You need to call the attention of the head of school to your application, because sometimes only God knows, some may not involve their principal and they may go scot-free. But we have some situation whereby they can call the head of school, and by the time they call the head of school and they say they are calling you from Martina Teachers of the Year, you know our head. Sometimes even with the situation of things around, somebody may get may have one issue or the other that he or she is going about with. He will just tell you, I don't know anything about Martina. Man, he's for secondary school teacher. I'm a principal. I don't know anything about it. And that will speak a lot about your application. It may affect your application. So the best thing is that you carry them along at this end. So print out this last page, just print it out and go and give it to the principal. Let them comment on this. I hereby confirm that the information provided by Mr. Addison is true, best of my knowledge. They have to acknowledge it, and they have to give comment on the teacher's performance. When you check it, let them give good comment about you, or let them say the true pictures of what you have been doing in school. Since you are a dedicated teacher, there is no point telling them that you have to put good things about me. They know that you are a dedicated teacher, and they will put all information about you there. Then the principal will put the name of the principal here. Then they will also sign, since it is. And don't forget, they must put the school stamp on it. That authenticates your application. They must put the school stamp on your this thing. So by the time they put it down, by the time they put the school stamp, they are done with everything. So the last thing we are going to talk about now is the submission. Like I told you, there are two ways to submit your application. You can do your application online. You can do it offline, as we are doing it like this. If you do it offline, let us assume I'm done with this now. I can now come back and save. I will come back and save. I can save in that same place. You can see that I can say, I'll put in my name, Kayode Adewale MTOT, that is Martina Teachers of the Year 2023 application. So I'm going to save it in that same folder that I've opened. Don't forget, when you want to save it, in order not to be scattered, not to get the document scattered, make sure you save it with PDF and save. So it will be saved inside that document. I will show us inside the document now. I'm going to show us inside the document now. Already it has been saved with PDF. Now if I go back into this place now, you can see that it has now saved as Kayode Adewale Martina Teacher application. Now what is the next thing to do now? The next thing for me to do now is to go back to my mail. I will go back to my mail, although I will not submit because I'm not eligible to apply again. So I will come here. I know many of us, we know how to do this. There is an account, there is a Gmail that you are going to attach to this. I don't know if anybody can still help me to get that. So you put the Gmail Martina Teachers of the Year at Enikis dot something something. So you put it into this place and make sure you subject it. You can say Adewale, don't put my own name, Adewale Kayode, your own name, type your name, MTOT. You can try to write it in full. Application 2023. That is the subject of what we are submitting. And once it gets here now, attach it. I'm sure we know how to do that. Come back under this place, you see something like a pin, attach. Many of us we have been sending mail to people. So if I attach it now, it will load my system. So let me just wait for some minutes. It will load my system and I will go and look for where I have my application. So where did I have my application? Martina Teachers of the Year 2023, and it has been saved with PDF. This is it here. This is my application. So I will attach my application to that. Now for those people that did their credential and everything separate, don't forget you have saved it somewhere. Also attach that one, then thereafter you send. Then what happened to you immediately you send your application? What happened? What will you see to know if they have received it? One good things about Martina Teachers of the Year organizer is that they will continue following you until you submit your application. I know many of us that have been applying in the past, we can testify to that. If you did not submit your application, if you did not complete your application, whether you initiated the application, they will keep on sending you message. Please complete your application. For those of us, I know many of us might have experienced that. Please complete your application. They will keep on warning you until the last day, until the closing day. So immediately you submit, if you are able to scale through and you submit successfully, you will get a notification. That is how to know if your submission is successful. You will get a notification, and the notification will read like this. I don't know if they will still use the same type, but I know when I apply in 2020 they use the same type. 2021 and 2022 they use the same style. They will tell you that what they will tell you is that what notification for submission, dear applicant, your entry for Martina Teachers of the Year 2023 was received. Thanks for participating in this year edition. So that shows you put your mind at rest that your submission have been received by the organizer. Number two thing, if after they review all the application for last year, we have over 1,000 applicants. And don't forget, there is a condition. If your application did not merit or did not, it's possible for one not to. If you look at the past champion, you see that sometimes it's not used to be up to 36 or 37. We have 36 states, then with FCT, which make it 37. It's possible for people not to qualify to the entry point to emerge as state champion in a state. So it's possible for a state not to have a state champion, and that is why you need to buckle up on your application for your application to get to that stage. So you will get a notification if your applications move to the next stage. You also get a notification that congratulations, they will say this to notify you that your entry has passed to the value submission for grading, and you stand a chance to be named the Martina Teachers of the Year. At that point you should continue praying. At that point you are nearing state champion. So by the time they do their final judgment there, after they review the first selection, then thereafter you receive a call from them. I pray one or two. I know many of us here will get to that stage by God's grace. So then you now receive a call from them. In fact, if there are something that is missing in your application at that moment, and your application merit or qualify to that stage, they will keep on calling you. If it is TRCN that is having issue, they will ask you, please send your TRCN. You can attach it to the mail. That's one good thing about the organizer. So they will keep on disturbing you that you should do this. So once it gets through, then you receive a call that you have qualified for the state champion. They will call you, and they will also send mail to you, and they will invite all of you to all the state champion. Then after that, if you also qualify to be the top 10 finalists, you also get a call. They will tell you that you have qualified as top 10. Then you have to report to their headquarters for the final interview, where they are going to select the top 3 candidates, and where they will now declare the winner on that day. So ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, this is how far we can go on the application, and I pray coming back by God's grace in October ending or whatever they want to have it, we want to hear that congratulatory message to most of us, to many of us here that will come back. So thank you very much. And if you have not registered on that website, let's first of all start to do that now. So I want to hand over to our moderator.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Dewale, for taking us through that. Thank you so much for the encouragement and for giving us the inspiration to push through at this time. So it's time for question and answer. Can we still have this for 10 minutes, sir, Mr. Dewale? Is it still
Yes,
possible? 10
yes, it's
minutes?
possible. I hope the section is not yet time out. I think we can still have it. So
No, we still have time left, but we said we're going to close by 12:30, and we have just 3 more minutes to the end of our time. But if all of us agree that we do this in the next 10 minutes, that would be great. So if you want to ask your question, please kindly, you can just unmute and just ask your question directly. Or if we want to put it in the chat box, so we just read out and we answer it together. Whichever way, Mr. Kaude, which way do you feel would be better,
like you
Madam
said,
Stella?
if you have your question, drop your questions on the chat box. And if you want to talk, okay, I can see Oluwayemisi Bankole. Can you, moderator, can you call her so that she can go on? So once we attend to these people, then we'll come back. We are giving the first 5 people that raise their hand. The first 5 people that raise their hand, we attend to those ones. Then we'll go back and attend to questions on the chat box.
It's all right. Oluwayemisi Bankole, please, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kayode, for that enlightenment. I want to ask that how do we, for me, I'm an English teacher, I'm a school counselor, I'm also an English teacher. How do I go about it? If I have somebody who is an English teacher who have done that before, I would like you to connect me with that person so that it will aid my application. It will help me in my application. That's my question. Thank you very much.
All right, Mrs. Okay, moderator, let me quickly answer that question. Ms. Bankole, thank you very much for your interest. On that, like I told you, we have created a WhatsApp group for all the applicants where we have some past winners there. So if you have any question that have not been addressed here, you can ask the question. Join the WhatsApp. I'm going to drop the link on the chat box now. Join the WhatsApp. You will definitely get connected to any of our past winners who happen to be an English teacher. Then they will attend to you. And of course, like I told you, the recording of this section will be available online. I will also make sure I share it on the WhatsApp so that you can listen to it. If there's any way you are unable to meet up, you can use that one. I think that one can support you. Thank you, ma'am. So, Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah.
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Your
thank
question.
you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
Your question.
The question is, as an English teacher,
Go on.
I think she's hot.
Okay,
Let's take another question from the chat. How do I include the principal's
I
attestation to
want
the
to teach
form?
comprehension. How do I link it to my SDG?
Please take your question all over.
Okay, I say that, for instance, as an English teacher and I want to teach the topic comprehension, how do I link it to my SDG? If I'm picking on SDG number 4, being quality education, how do I link that topic to it? That is the question, ma'am.
Okay, Madam Stella, please, can you help us answer that?
Yes, when you're teaching comprehension, it's connected to a quality education goal 4, and then you are linking it to literacy. You cannot comprehend without reading. You cannot do comprehension without reading. So you're doing reading and comprehension. So you can link it to
quality education. That's the goal that's connected to that.
Okay, thank you, Madam Stella.
Okay, thank you.
Vivian is asking, how do I include the principal's attestation to the form after it has been signed and stamped? Mr.
All right,
Adewale.
thank you very much. Like I said, once you come here, let's take this for instance. Let me quickly share my screen again to answer that, because I know many of us we may have such questions in mind too. Now this is it. Now you have done everything here. You got to this place, you have put in your signature. Don't forget you printed this page, this exactly last page. This is where you printed. Now you have gone to submit the something to your principal. It is only the pictures, it is only the last page where your principal put the endorsement. That is the only page you are going to scan, and you bring in as a picture. You attach it as a picture like this. Let us assume what your principal has endorsed is this, for instance. Now let's say it is this, for instance. It has now turned to a picture, so you now attach it as a picture, so it will come under it like this to complement what you have done before. It will complement what you have done before. It will be part of what you have done before. Can you see it now? So that is how to do that. Then somebody is asking, there is no endorsement online. Yes, there is no endorsement online. For those applying online, it will be difficult. There is no space provided for head of school to endorse it online, so you can just do your submission.
Okay. Any other question, please? Any other question?
Aziz is raising hand.
Okay, Aziz Ojoro and like two people just raised their hand. Please kindly unmute yourself and
May I
ask your
speak now?
question. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma. Thank you for the initiative and the opportunity.
Good afternoon, sir. You're
It's
welcome, sir.
actually Ojoro, not
Ojoro, I apologize.
it's all right, no
Family
problem.
already. Emma Bino.
No problem. So, thanks so much for the opportunity. I've been
All right,
asking,
sir.
but I didn't get any response. The WhatsApp link.
Sorry. Okay, the
I didn't,
WhatsApp link. Mr. Dewale.
Yes, I'm going to share the WhatsApp link.
Mr. Dewale, please, the WhatsApp link. I don't have it either.
Yes.
But do you have Mr. Dewale's
Yes.
number? Okay, Mr. Dewale is
Yes,
back. Please, the WhatsApp
I've dropped
link.
the WhatsApp link
Okay.
now. So please
Thank
let
you,
all
sir.
of us join it. That's WhatsApp link. So let all of us join it. And as I
All right.
promised, I'm going to drop the recording of this section on that WhatsApp. Then I'll also put it on my Facebook account, on LinkedIn account. So for those of you that missed the section, or you missed one part or the other, you can go back and listen to everything.
It's all right. Mr. Dewale, please. Mr. Isaac is asking that in his instructional planning and delivery, that is it compulsory that he includes images and pictures?
Yes, it's possible. In fact, it is quite unfortunate. What is it called? It's not possible for us to be sharing our application. If you look at it, like I said, you need to bring in something practicable, as in something that can enrich it. So something like that, the images can even give a better insight into that topic for the judges. So it is allowed.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, Vivian is also asking, do I need... Okay, Madam Stella, please.
Yes, in the instructional planning, the focus is on you explaining how you are going to teach. Remember, you're not teaching inside the application. So you said you are going to use images, pictures, and videos. You mustn't upload the video you want to use for the teaching. You are just to kind of highlight what you need for the teaching to go on.
Okay.
I don't know whether I made it clear. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I think this will be our last question. Then we would be closing this webinar. Madam Nkechi is asking, do I need to write? I'm sorry. Do I need to write about the climate change separately if it is different from the goal that I am presenting in my lesson plan?
No.
Okay.
Uh, I think everything she should do is should be in line with the lesson objective, the topic, the objectives you want to achieve, right?
Okay.
But if peradventure your theme, your topic, cross meets the crosses the checkbox. How do you, if it meets the needs of more than several one or two goals, you indicate it in you indicate it in your presentation.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
All right.
All right,
Thank you. So
hello, ma. I think I
but
saw Mr. Odufeso asking a question that what and what question are they going to ask during that final interview? You cannot envisage what question they can come up during that time. Like I said, when we ask our own producers or two, those are the past champion before our own time, they were just telling us, just go and read everything about education. Nobody can envisage the kind of question they will come up with during the national this thing. Nobody. If someone tell you that these are the questions they asked during my own time, during your own time that question may be different. So it's like, don't confuse yourself. The best thing is that
Yes,
just
true.
go and practice, go and read everything about education. That's just it. Anything that you know that a question, you too, we are also a teacher, so we should just assume if you are the one, somebody is coming before you and for a kind of things, imagine the kind of question you can ask people, and those are the kind of questions that you need to prepare yourself to answer.
all right, sir. We
Exactly.
still have like two more questions. And a request. So there's a request for the slides of Madam Stella. So I think that we can get that on the WhatsApp platform. So we might not need to disturb ourselves. So we can actually request for that later on the
No, hello,
WhatsApp
Miss
platform.
Adela.
So
Hello, ma.
all
Miss
right, sir.
Adela, she's asking, please, is it possible for me to add my social handle link during that application?
Yes, that was the next question. That's the next question I wanted to
Okay,
read
sir.
out.
Okay, ma.
Yes.
Thank you very
So
much.
Sarah is
Thank you very
asking.
much. We don't know.
Okay, if it's
You know,
possible.
you are converting that your application to PDF. If you have any link that you know they can check, you can add the link. If they are accessing the form online, or they are accessing it with a device that has internet, it is possible for them to click that link to check whether the link you attach to it is real or not. So just put in anything that you know that can make your application rich.
Yes, sir. And finally, Mr. Udifeso is asking that are we going to be teaching?
I think, let me say this before my oga AY will say something. All these questions,
All right.
are we going to teach or not? You cannot. Thank God I was opportune to qualify to the top 10 final, to the top 10. And when I asked other people that have got to that stage, they were like, see, nobody can say you can get there. They can even say you should teach. They can even say no, you can't predict. Just prepare yourself for anything that can come up. AY, I don't know if you want to support me.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, go on, go on.
Perfectly.
All right. Okay, sorry. Well, I know people are really curious, want to find out what's going on. What will go on after this stage? My own advice is focus on the now. Just focus on
Exactly.
now. Like when I applied my form, I didn't think I'll be. I didn't really think that I will be making it that far to top 10. You know, I was also dumbfounded and stuff. So everybody has their goals. Everybody has what they plan for themselves, their objective for this application. The thing is just fill your form to the best of your ability. If you have any more questions, the truth is we are all reachable. And the thing is, don't carry any notion about yourself. Like when I was preparing to go top 10, I went on Facebook. I chatted the last winner, Mr. Abanika. Chatted him, no answer. I chatted Gumi, no answer. I hustled. I met somebody who knew Gumi. I asked for the number. I sent her message, no response. So I just kept thinking, what will I do? What will I do? What will I do? I spoke to one lady from Medicare. She was very helpful. She said, don't worry yourself. Their time, they asked them to do a lesson plan. Their time, they did that. But our time, we didn't do that, right? So the thing is just let's follow this in one step at a time. Right now, we
Yeah,
have initial phase. Let us apply to
application
the best of our
stage. Yeah.
knowledge, yes, and hope for the best. I am very reachable. Mr. Adewale is reachable. Very reachable. Miss Stella is very reachable, and we're here to be able to pass down the few knowledge we have and how we can assist you guys to reach that level in which we are fortunate to have reached. So any other questions? Sorry, I've been busy.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think that's about all. Yes.
I've been
So
busy, and
I
I
want to.
apologize.
Okay,
Sorry, I apologize for my up and down. I was coordinating something.
all right.
We have a program.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you. So I would want to call on a participant to actually give the vote of thanks. Anybody can volunteer to give the vote of thanks. Please, you can just unmute. You can unmute yourself. Okay. Madilia, yeah. You want to, if you want to give the vote of thanks, just unmute and give the vote of thanks.
My name is Professor Tajuddin.
All right, sir.
Want to sincerely appreciate all the organizers, the families of champions, Mr. Dewale Kayode, Mr. Laku, Mrs. Adiola, Echo for show. Thank you so much. I have learned
Thank you,
a
sir.
lot.
And Madam Stella, me, I'm
Madam
just
Stella,
moderator. Me too, I'm here to learn. Madam Stella.
Madam Stella, if your ma, in fact, I really enjoy
Yes.
you people. I really enjoy you people. Thank you on behalf of the participants across the nation. Say a big thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dewale Kayode, our great mentor in Ogun State. Thank you so much, Mr. Laku. Thanks for the information, Mrs. Pioma. Thank you, and the rest and other speakers that have spoke here. I have gained a lot from you people, and I'm very sure others have also gained something. We really thank you, and I pray that God Almighty will be with you and your family.
Amen.
Wherever you lay your hands shall prosper, you people will move higher and higher for promoting, for encouraging us, for putting us through, for sharing ideas, for sharing knowledge. Oh, so wonderful. So wonderful. So it is now, I want to quote from what Mr. Adiola, a for sure, has been saying, that collaboration is far, far better than competition. I love this collaboration. I love it so much. We say a big thank you to everyone. God bless you. Thank you all.
Thank you, my Ogadis officer, defensor, for that vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Mr. Dewale, thank you for the privilege,
Thank
sir.
God, ma.
I'm
And
honored,
let me
sir.
pass this information to all the participants. Just like one of my mentors used to say, like I told you, I so much cherish mentoring. Thank God we've created a WhatsApp platform for this, and I'm very optimistic that many people here are going to emerge as state champion. Please and please, by God's grace, by the time you emerge as state champion and top 10 finalists, by God's grace, don't forget to bring people's up too. Please don't forget to bring people's up too. I will repeat that for the last time. Please don't forget to bring people's up too. We are building a community of champions, and God will continue to help us.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I
All right,
appreciate
thank you.
you.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Greetings.
Appreciate it.
So let's greet ourselves for the next 10 minutes. We can greet ourselves. we have come to the end.
Bye for now.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Dewale.
everyone.
God bless you, sir.
Bye. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
All right. Bye.
AY, thank you very much. God bless you, sir.
Thank
Thank you
God.
very much.
Thank
Thank
God.
you
Thank
very
God.
much.
Honestly, so
Miss Stella,
sorry.
thank you very much. I'm going to
Yes.
stop the recording now so that we can drop it.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. I'm very, very
Take care.
grateful.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, bye.